everyone, my name is Caitlin and welcome to my YouTube channel. So today I have a book haul and I'm really excited to just jump into it. I have 7 books here that I just impulse bought on Amazon. It just happens like that. So I'm gonna get right into it. First, I'm gonna start with Ivan Turgenev, First Love and Other Stories. I've been wanting to read Turgenev for a few months now. I've really been just focusing though on Dostoevsky, Gogol, Chekhov, and just making my way through Russian authors. I saw this and I thought, why not? Why not just get it? So I did, and I'm not really sure what to expect. I know First Love is a tragic love story, which are my favorite. I love a good tragedy, which is why I'm so drawn to Russian lit in the first place. So this has First Love, Mew Mew, I'm not sure, The Diary of a Superfluous Man, King Lear of the Steppes, Asya, and of course First Love. This is the Oxford World Classics edition and it is super pretty, so I'm excited to get into this and learn more about Turgenev, learn more about his writing style, and just see what he's all about. Keeping with Russian lit, I got Evgeny Onegin by Alexander Pushkin. I am so unbelievably excited to read this. Ever since I read Gogol, I've wanted to get into Pushkin because Pushkin was a big inspiration to Gogol, and I think they were also kind of besties, so that's cute. Edition did come a little damaged, which I'm a bit upset about, but I'm not gonna send it back. I don't like to return things. It takes too much time and effort. It's okay, I'll live with it. Evgeny Onegin is also a tragic love story. That's just what I'm into. I just can't help it, and Russian lit tragedies are just the best. The back of this book reads, tired of the glitter and glamour of St. Petersburg society, aristocratic dandy Evgeny Onegin retreats to the country estate he has recently inherited. With the arrival of the idealistic young poet Vladimir Lenski, he begins an unlikely friendship. As the poet welcomes this urbane addition to his small social circle and is happy to introduce Onegin to his fiancée, Olga, and her family. But when Olga's sister, Tatiana, becomes infatuated with Onegin, his cold rejection of her love brings about a tragedy that engulfs them all. Unfolding with dreamlike inevitability and dazzling energy, Pushkin's tragic poem is one of the greatest works of Russian literature. This is also a poem, it's not a traditional fiction story. If you can see, this is how it's written, and I've never read something like this before. I don't know how this is gonna go, but I am excited to read from different authors and different formats. I have been getting into poetry very slowly and have been enjoying it so far. I do have high hopes for this, but I don't think Pushkin will disappoint me. Next, I have the reason for this book haul, which is 3 Shakespeare plays. Yes, 3. You heard that right. So the plays I got were The Tempest, Much Ado About Nothing, and As You Like It. And I don't know why the sizes are different because do you see that? This cover is also a soft touch cover. I don't know why every time I order books that are the same editions, they're just a little different. I don't know. I am trying to read a Shakespeare play every month this year, and I finished what I already bought, so this was the reason for this haul. I honestly don't know what any of these plays are really about. I am most excited about The Tempest though, I think. So I am gonna read a little blurb about each of them so we can get an idea of what's going on. Putting romance on stage, The Tempest gives us a magician, Prospero, a former Duke of Milan who was displaced by his treacherous brother, Antonio. Prospero is exiled on an island where his only companions are his daughter Miranda, the spirit Ariel, and the monster Caliban. When his enemies are among those caught in a storm near the island, Prospero turns his power upon them through Ariel and other spirits. The characters exceed the roles of villains and heroes. Prospero seems heroic, yet he enslaves Caliban and has an appetite for revenge. Caliban seems to be a monster for attacking Miranda, but appears heroic in resisting Prospero, evoking the period of colonialism during which the play was written. Miranda's engagement to Ferdinand, the Prince of Naples, and a member of the shipwreck party helps resolve the drama. I'm getting like Little Mermaid vibes. I don't know if there's an actual correlation between The Little Mermaid and The Tempest, but I think this might be what I read in April because this is the play I am most excited about, but also I might save it for summer. I'm not sure. The next play I have is Much Ado About Nothing. So this is a comedy, and I've only read Shakespeare's tragedies so far because I like tragedies. I think you guys get it by now. Much Ado About Nothing includes two quite different stories of romantic love. Hero and Claudio fall in love almost at first sight, but an outsider, Don John, strikes out at their happiness. Beatrice and Benedict are kept apart by pride and mutual antagonism until others decide to play Cupid. This sounds good too. Ooh, I don't know. And I wonder if there's some correlation between Don John and Don Juan? Is that like a literary thing? I'm not sure. This actually sounds interesting. I mean, that's why I bought it. I wouldn't buy something I wasn't interested in. We're gonna have some fun. We're gonna have some fun with Shakespeare. The last play I have is As You Like It. Readers and audiences have long greeted As You Like It with delight. Its characters are brilliant conversationalists, including their princesses Rosalind and Celia, and their fool, Touchstone. Soon after Rosalind and Orlando meet and fall in love, the princesses and Touchstone go into exile in the forest of Arden, where they find new conversational partners. Duke Frederick, younger brother to Duke Senior, has overthrown his brother and forced him to live homeless in the forest with his couriers, including the cynical Jacques. Orlando, whose older brother Oliver plotted his death, has fled there too. There seems to be a lot going on in this play. Some romance, some drama, classic Shakespeare things. I think we're gonna have a good spring and early summer with Shakespeare because I also have A Midsummer Night's Dream, but I am saving that for midsummer. Should be a good time. Next, I got this beautiful copy of Pride and Prejudice. Can we just like appreciate this? It's torn because part of me wanted to get like a traditional Penguins Classic edition of Pride and Prejudice because I really do like reading the introductions, especially with authors I haven't read before, and this is gonna be my first Jane Austen, but it is so pretty. It is so pretty. I did get this on Amazon. I believe it is the Peacock edition. This is gonna be my first Jane Austen, and honestly, I don't really know what happens in Pride and Prejudice. I know it's a love story. I know there's some drama, but I really am going into this book blind, and I want to keep it that way because I do have really high hopes for this book and for Jane Austen. I will keep you updated while I am reading this book and how I'm feeling towards it, because as I said, like, I don't really read love stories unless I know for a fact that they're tragic. Like, that's a personal issue that I'm not gonna get into right now. I actually don't know if the main love interests stay together, and don't tell me because I don't want to know. I don't want to know until I read this for myself. So I am gonna start this in April. Hopefully I'll finish it in April too. But yeah, that's Pride and Prejudice. The last book, and another reason I had to do this haul, it's The Double and the Gambler by Dostoevsky. Let's talk about Dostoevsky for a minute because last month I read Notes from a Dead House, and I did not really like it. I gave it 3 stars, and I still feel that way to this day. It just was not my favorite. I expected more of a story out of it than a telling narrative. Maybe that was just my fault, I don't know. But I am reading a Dostoevsky a month along with my Shakespeare Plays. And for April, I'm definitely reading The Double. I don't know if I'll read The Gambler too, because something about me, I feel like I just need to read like the whole thing. Like, even though there are 2 books in this edition, if I just read The Double, I feel like I'm not completing the full book. I don't know, that's just me. And I have higher hopes for this. I'm really excited about The Double. The Double is a surprisingly modern hallucinatory nightmare, foreshadowing Kafka and Sartre, in which a minor official named, God, named Goliadkin becomes aware of a mysterious doppelganger, a man who has his name and his face, and who gradually and relentlessly begins to displace him with his friends and colleagues. I love books where the main character is very unsure of himself, very delirious, disoriented, is tormented, is agonized. Like I just love these books, and I'm actually about to make a video on my favorite book, which is Nausea by Jean-Paul Sartre, and it said right here that this foreshadowed Sartre. So I think this is going to be right up my alley and what I need to get back into Dostoevsky, because I'm in a reading slump from Notes from a Dead House, and it really needs to go away because reading is something I really enjoy. This also has The Gambler, which is a stunning psychological portrait of a young man's exhilarating and destructive addiction to gambling, a compulsion that Dostoevsky, who once gambled away his young wife's wedding ring, knew intimately from his own experience. In chronicling the disastrous love affairs and gambling adventures of Alexei Ivanovich, Dostoevsky explores the irresistible temptation to look into the abyss of ultimate risk that he believed was an essential part of the Russian national character. I think The Gambler definitely will be interesting, but I'm very excited for the double. I feel like these books are put together a lot, and I'm interested to know why. I'm hoping the introduction will tell me, because the double is actually Dostoevsky's first novel, and then The Gambler came right after Crime and Punishment. Timeline-wise, they weren't like published near each other, but I'm assuming they just have similar themes, and that's why they're put into editions together, but I don't know. Anyway, that's my book haul. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you've read any of these books or if any of these books seem interesting to you. I'd love to know your thoughts and opinions. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.